Hi, I'm Wayne and this is Bassador Woodworking. This is my new drill press. This is a Craftsman 113 drill press, and I picked it up today on Facebook Marketplace. Overall, it's in really good condition. It just needs a thorough cleaning, and it needs the top bearings replaced in the spindle.
I began by trying to remove the quill and spindle assembly. Per the owner's manual, you should be able to pull out on the feed handle to release the quill. That didn't work.
Alright, so that's...
You try it 8 more times, maybe it'll work.
pretty locked up. Just hoping to get the spindle out before doing any of the actual work, because it'd make things a lot easier if I could.
When that didn't work, I decided to shift gears and begin disassembling the head. This drill press is a bear and it is way easier to move around without the motor on. I began removing surface rust using a cheap Harbor Freight angle grinder and a wire brush. I have a bunch of these angle grinders that I pick up when they're on sale for $10 or so. They're pretty underpowered, but they are great for this type of application.
It's much better than it was. And at least gets the rough stuff off. I'll do a more thorough cleaning before everything's done. This can come off now. Hopefully it will slide all the way off.
As I was removing small parts, I was tossing them in a bowl with some rust remover. This is a gel kind that I've used on cast iron tabletops a few times, never on hardware though. It is pretty gentle and it worked well. This is where things get a little bit gross. When I tipped the base of the drill press, I could not see all the way through the column and deduced that there must be a blockage in there. I sprayed some glass cleaner down the tube and then coated a tennis ball in cleaner and shoved it down the column using a metal pipe I had lying around. This was all going really well and I was pretty proud of my little tennis ball idea. That was until I cleared the blockage.
Oh, there's a dead mouse in there. That's fucked up. Sorry for disturbing your grave, little buddy. I guess I'll take you outside. Can now see all the way through the way tubes. Nothing down there. We're good.
I then took the wire wheel to the base and removed all of the surface rust I could access. I alternated between the angle grinder, Scotch-Brite pad, and glass cleaner to clean up the column. Once the surface rust was removed, I coated the entire base in a coat of fluid film and allowed it a couple of minutes to set. I then wiped up the excess with a towel. I've had really good luck using this on other bare metal surfaces in the shop and hope it will hold up just as well here.
It's perfect, exactly what I wanted. Okay, you can now come down and go back onto this.
With the column and base cleaned up, I could now reinstall the table and give it the same coating of fluid film. It was now time to reinstall the head.
Okay. That's not going anywhere. Now this can go back on. This will catch it from going too deep. At least that's the thought. Yeah, the thought works. And we'll leave it like that for the time being, because I've got to get the spindle out. And I still haven't figured out how to do that yet. It should, when I do that, come out. But
Removing the quill and spindle assembly was a huge undertaking and took hours. It was completely seized from some mice making the drill press their home.
I finally got the spindle out. It is hella fucked. So I'm gonna spend a little bit of time and try to get this cleaned up, see if it's still salvageable. Alright, I'm back in the shop. This is day 2. A lot happened yesterday, and getting this spindle and quill assembly out of the drill press was a gigantic chore. The moment I got these quill and everything out, I immediately noticed why. There's a lot of corrosion present, especially on the quill. So getting this apart and cleaning it up is the #1 priority right now. I checked online last night just because it'd be easier than having to restore this. And these parts are almost impossible to come by. So we're gonna have to do what we can with this and see if we can make it workable again. I completely see why this was seized up though, so that's not a mystery anymore.
I was able to remove some of the rust using a wire brush, but there was a lot of rust on the inside of the quill, so I bathed the whole piece in a bottle of evapor rust while I turned my attention to the spindle. After my struggle with the bearings on the radial arm saw, I took a trip to Harbor Freight and picked up a different kind of bearing puller, and this was a lifesaver for this project.
I have all of the pieces of the spindle and quill assembly dismantled, and some good news. The spindle is actually in a lot better condition than the outside of the quill. So I'm hoping that all of this will still work. It was just at the very end of its throw, it might be a little bit rough. But I'll have a working drill press at the end of this, so that's a plus, I guess.
With the spindle and quill taking a bath in evapor rust, I turned my attention to rewiring the light. A mouse had chewed through the wire long ago, and there really isn't a reason not to repair it while I have such easy access to it. I soldered in a new wire and then used heat shrink tubing to seal everything up. The mounting screws were missing when I picked up this drill press, and I don't have any that fit the threading, so I decided to drill out and tap the holes to something that I do have. Tapping holes in cast iron is really easy, just apply a dab of oil and go slowly. Clear the tap by turning back half a turn when you encounter too much resistance, and you'll be done in no time. I could then dry fit the electrical components to make sure that they all fit. I'll leave them out of the way until I place the bearings though. I used a wire wheel in my drill to do some more cleanup of the spindle. It is extremely important that the splines of the spindle be clear and clean to work properly.
The shaft that goes through the top pulley looks really good after a couple of hours in the evapor rust. So I'm going to try to just clean out as much of the rust that still lingers as I can, and then get the top pulley assembly put back together. I have new bearings that I'm going to put on this, and then we'll see how the rest of this thing all comes together. I'm kind of just waiting on another set of bearings and a new belt to come in, so we can take our time with this. Okay, so a little bit of an update. I now have this piece filed out enough that it slides freely over the first 3/4 or so of this, and then it comes to a halt a little bit prematurely. I can still clean up this piece a little bit more with a file and see if I can get that so that it does bottom out where it's supposed to. But for the amount of wear that this thing has and the amount it's degraded, I'm actually very happy with the amount of travel that we're getting. So, gonna continue on that. Doesn't really make good footage, so I'll catch you when it's done.
Reassembling the top bearing and pulley was not too bad. The new bearing puller made it a lot easier. I did realize that I forgot to place the spacer between the two bearings, and I had to take this apart, add the spacer, and put it back together.
You are now seated, and by all accounts, correctly. Oh, you've been nice now.
The electrical plate could now be installed as I didn't need access to the top bearings anymore. I then reattached the folding top and then rehung the motor. The pace was now picking up and I could see the finish line of this project in sight. With the motor hung, I could then reconnect the switch and get it remounted.
So I can check the lights all wired back in. That works. Let's check the drill, see if the motor turns on. It does. Alright, so the switch is working.
All that was left was to reassemble the quill and spindle. This was a lot easier to put together than it was to take apart. There are only 2 bearings that slide onto the spindle, neither one gives you a lot of trouble, and 2 or 3 retaining clips to place, and then it's just time to put it back in the machine. I slathered almost every surface of this thing in some red and tacky machine grease. The assembly slid into the drill press without any problems. The only trick was holding the feeder arm out of position while at the same time trying to rotate the top pulley to accept the spindle. It was so easy to put this machine back together. Once the stubborn pieces were out and cleaned up, everything played nice and fit together as it should. And now, as a bonus, I know every single piece of this machine. I could then replace the chuck. This is an old collared chuck that uses threads to pull the chuck onto the taper. It's kind of cool, but they're hard to find nowadays. Luckily, I can just press on a normal Jacobs chuck and bypass the collar altogether if I ever need to. I also don't have the chuck key that came with this chuck, so I just had to use an Allen wrench to tighten down the collar. Only thing left to do was to install the belt.
Okay, the drill press is all assembled. Everything moves smoothly except for, like I thought, the very end of the throw. It kind of just skips and jumps a little bit, but even as I'm working it a little bit, it's getting better. So nothing I can't overcome on that. If everything is done properly, I should be able to start this and everything will work. Only thing left to do is to actually turn it on. I have a new belt coming in the mail today, but I just want to, in case something goes wrong and this all snaps, at least I'm not burning up my good belt. Let's turn the light on first. Light works, so electricity is working. Let's try this. Yes! Oh, it's so quiet too. Oh. Oh, she's so good. Wow, that is quiet. Nice. everything works. I'm very happy with how this thing turned out. This was a great deal, and it only took about a day of work to get this thing back up and running, and it runs incredibly smoothly. So I'm sure this thing will last me probably the rest of my natural life. So I still have a couple of customization type things to do with it. I'm going to definitely design a table lift for this thing. The table alone is about 40 pounds, and I don't really feel like lifting it ever again. So I'm gonna build something to lift and lower that so that I don't have to. And also gonna replace the belt, just general normal maintenance type stuff from here on out. There's no more overhauling the entire system. But thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to keep up to date with new projects as they are released. And until next time, thank you.